Hey, how's it going? Let's talk about Essay 1, A Place You Call Home. All right, this is our first process essay. You're going to watch a screencast after this, I would imagine, on brainstorming and how to arrive at a good topic. So consult that. I'm here more for this screencast to talk about the assignment itself, but the writing process, it kind of begins with me when I instigate the process by providing you an assignment or you want to be fancy about it, you can call it the rhetorical situation. Uh, and then it is your job to consider all your options. So watch that screencast about brainstorming when it comes to topics. I'll have a little bit to say about it here, but this is more of a nuts and bolts kind of, hopefully very quick screencast. So for the assignment, I have sort of a, FAQ sort of back and forth sort of format to it in the hopes to anticipate any questions that you might have. So it's all right there in the title. The next essay, as of right now when I'm recording this, has a terrible title, but I'm quite happy with the Essay 1 title, A Place You Call Home. And I think every word sort of matters there. It's a place. Of all the places that you could call home, you have to pick just one of them that you want to communicate something significant to me about yourself. Okay, and then a place, it absolutely can be an actual physical geographic location, but it doesn't have to be. You, it's your essay, and you in choosing a place that you call home, you're also telling me something about yourself. And so that's what the call part would be. And then the home, home can mean many things to many different people. Some people have, their homes are safe places, they're comfortable places, and for some people, unfortunately, they're not. So even the word home can be defined across, multiple. How do I want to put this? There's a whole spectrum of ideas that the word home can sort of, where you can land on. So this first essay is, let me go big just for a second here. This first essay is, it's not all the way diagnostic, but it's pointed in that direction. If you drive a car, or somebody who does, if you have the check engine light come on, if you're like me with my cars, I first go to Advanced Auto Parts, and they come out with a diagnostic tool. They plug it into, underneath where the spark plugs are, and then it reads out what's sort of wrong with the car. Diagnostic essays are like that as well. I'm sort of going to take a look under the hood, writing wise with you, and see where you are. And then that can help me to customize and tweak my expectations for how quickly or not we can move things along in this class. It also gives me an idea of where our strengths, our areas in need of improvement lie. So by all means, write this essay your best, but please know that in terms of all the essays that we write, the first and the last are by far the lowest of stakes. This is the first essay, and your final essay of the semester is your reflection. Okay, so I still want you to write, at your writerly best, but don't become paralyzed by stress over it. All right, so you are welcome to write about your house, your bedroom. What I'm looking for is something a little less predictable, wildly more interesting places that have informed your sense of self, places that bring back important memories, places that are distinctly you. If I just had you all write about your house, I would have 127, that's where I stand now, I would have 127 essays about, it's my room, and it's where I feel safe. That's fine, but it doesn't make for a very interesting reading outside of you. You know what I mean? Because we tend to draw the same conclusions. There are much more creative ways to approach the subject, and I can certainly help you in your considerations of topics. So please email me if you want to bounce some ideas off of me. Okay, you should almost never write about the first topic that pops into your mind. I'm very big. In my face-to-face classes, I have my students make a list of possible topics, and I say, okay, throw out the first one you wrote, because that's going to be the most predictable one. I would like you to be unpredictable. I would like you to, because unpredictability can create interest not only in you as a writer, but in me and other people who are your readers. All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, your actual home. I know we have a lot of athletes in this class as I'm making my way through your personal introductions. Let me go big screen just for a second. If you absolutely must write about your practice field, or the ball diamond, or the gym, whatever, if you can think of ways that you can define yourself outside of athletics, because even though, hey, look, wait, look over here. Look, I'm an athlete who takes my athletics still very seriously, and I'm much older than all of you, and I get it. But mm, is there something else that you could write about? Just consider it. Okay. I want to avoid cliches at all turns. Okay. So spend something that you want. Spend your time thinking and writing about something that you want to spend time thinking and writing about. So if you don't feel like processing sort of difficult memories, don't pick a difficult place to write, a difficult home to write about. If you are interested in doing that, by all means, go for it. Okay, something you can describe in meaningful detail. Now, there's lots of ways to define detail. There's, of course, sort of external detail, like the scene, the setting, the more sensory stuff involved. What time of day do you visit your home? What time of year is your home like the most comfortable to you? That sort of thing. How do you get there? All those sort of extra details. That's fine. You don't have to have those. You can also have what are considered more like internalized emotional details. There's a lot to be said about emotional information getting conveyed in an essay, especially one that's asking you to provide a narrative like this one is. So detail is a very much sort of up for grabs term. You can, again, the things that happen outside of your sort of conscious perspective, things you see, smell, but also the things you feel. Okay. I always like, you don't have to do research, but I think research always can help inform any subject. Just bringing in outside expert voices who can help inform your approach to your subject, never a bad thing. Next essay, you have to have research. And then, believe it or not, for the research project, you have to have a lot of research. So let's see. All right, I've been talking for 6.5 minutes already. Let's take a coffee break. All right. This place has to hold a distinct meaning for you. That will emerge as you write, I think, the distinct meaning. We're still sort of at the brainstorming sort of phase. So what are you going to write about? Details, research, like I've already said. Now here are some more in-depth suggestions. How has your home changed, or how hasn't it changed over time? I'm like a closet sociologist sometimes, and I like longitudinal studies. Study things that happen over time. Has your home gotten better? Has your home gotten worse? And how do you know? How can you tell? How can you tell me? All right. Specific memories, of course, especially these two here. When you complicate the idea of your home, what you do is you get rid of any accusations of writing a love letter to your home, which is definitely what I don't want. So, if I were to write about my home, it would probably be something with my job. It would probably be in the writing classroom, helping students find their voices as writers. That's very energizing for me. But believe it or not every student who takes college composition loves it as much as I love teaching it. So we're in the same place. I feel at home, and if a student doesn't like writing, or at least not yet, well, then they're not going to like that place nearly as much as I do. So competing visions for the same place, that creates complexity. That's a direct route to having some ideas. All right, any contradictions within it, sort of, it's in the same realm as that, thinking about ways that people might not like it. Particular contribution that your home makes to the world, I like that one. If you want to, you can zoom way out and think about society and the world, or some demographic, and think about how your home sort of informs it. Okay, you can also just zoom way in and get nothing but just sort of internal and behind your own eyes, and think about how it informs your sense of self. So you can do both those things, but if you have like a macro or a micro approach, that's usually going to be enough to fulfill the assignment. But hey, go for it. And then maybe how have you changed this place? Have you made it better? Have you made it worse? Because places form you, places sort of inform your identity, but you also inform a place's sense of identity. Like the towpath that I run on, down by my house. I pick up every piece of trash I see because I want to make it better. I can't stand when people leave their like running gels, water bottles on the towpath. So usually anytime I'm doing a long run, I have to stop at every trash can and empty my pockets. So I try to make the place better. I try not to make it worse. What do you do? All right. Let's go nitty gritty here. Nuts and bolts, 500 words. And that's the bare minimum. Let me go big here for a second. An A is an excellent essay. A B is a good essay. A C is an average essay. D, not good. And F, of course, is F. So I take those grades seriously. The best of an essay that completes the minimum requirement. That's, you're probably in average territory, in C territory. That's generally how I grade things. I don't Believe in grade inflation. I believe in honestly assessing your work. That will make me less popular with some of you, I'm sure, and I'm sorry, but that's just the way I'm built, and it's the way college is and should be built, I think. So you want to, you want to scratch by, eke by. 500 words is for you. If you really want to distinguish yourself, you want to think about more than that. I'll leave it at that for now. Consider one outside source. Again, above and beyond, excellent essays will have a source. APA citation and format. You've already heard a lot from me about academic audiences. Take that seriously. Let me go big one more time. Keep the word you out of your essay. Your friendly reminder. No place for it. All right. Be interesting, engaging, and fun. Let's not lose track of the fun of writing. Okay. So just the back side of this I can go through pretty quickly, I think. Your place can be an idea or a photo or an app in your phone. It can be a meme. Anything sort of digitized. It can be Fortnite. I mean, geez, how much time do people spend on Fortnite? It can be, I didn't put on here, but like a tattoo or like a musical instrument. It can be like a thing. It doesn't have to be a place. I like that. I like the idea of a thing being your home. So anyway, anything that's going to make me go, oh, wow, I hadn't considered that as an option. Those essays are memorable and they're interesting and they're engaging because you're bringing a level of creative energy to it that bounces right off of you and onto me as a reader. Okay, so when you're creative, I'm very responsive to that, and most readers are as well. If you're picking a tried and true, in today's society, there are many different homes that people call home. Like, snooze. Just, I have to read your essay. I will, but I'm not, it's not going to be anything I'd consider interesting. So at all times, strive to be interesting. All right, do's and don'ts, or I guess these are all don'ts. Do not write a report. Okay. There's a real easy trap, especially when you're a younger emerging writer, like many of you are. There's a real trap of like 75% of my essay is straight up description, and then at the end, like in conclusion, my home can mean many things to many people. Like, you're better, you're smarter than that. You're smarter than 5 paragraphs. Let's break that mold and let's never return to it. Okay, trust me, you can do it. It's hard. It's hard advice to take. It's not hard for me to give because I know it's true. So be aware of the balance. You don't want to over-describe at the expense of under-analyzing. Say that. All right, and I'm not interested in learning facts I can look up myself. Again, I don't want a Wikipedia entry on whatever you're writing about. You can assume I know all that stuff. This goes back to my guide to writing. Assume your reader is smart on your topic. Okay, you don't need to inform too much. You need to make your case. All right, that's number one problem I see that causes essays to not get a good grade, let's say. The second one is the love letter. Do not write a love letter to your home. I don't want it to be just this unabashed, joy fest of how wonderful this place is. Complicate it in some way. I already had some suggestions previously. Ways different people can think about it, contradictions within it, how it's changed over time. There are plenty of ways to complexify. Is that a word? To complexify your home. Okay. And then this one here, this is more of a, see, it's a try not to. It's not a do not. But if you just pick a place, well, there's one real important memory there. I can write about that memory and I can write about that place. Those tend to be pretty reductive in their conclusions. And I don't want you to be reductive in your conclusions. I want you to contribute new ideas and fresh thinking. Okay. Go ahead and brainstorm ideas about the role the setting plays in your life. I guess that's maybe not the clearest advice now that I'm reading it, but okay, so yeah, I guess thinking about the setting, if it really has seared into your mind, that could be something worth writing about. All right, grab my attention in the first paragraph and sustain it. Again, thoughtful balance between detail and significance. All right, invite me to your Google Doc, email me. Don't ever start an email with, I'm sorry to bother you. You are never bothering me when you email me, okay? I want your emails. I want to help. I want to guide you along the writing process as much as you want me to, okay? That can take the form of email conversation. It can take the form of FaceTiming or Skyping. It can be a classroom visit. It can be you coming to my office and us having a chat. It can look like a lot of things, but this is college. You have to be proactive about your own education and responsible for your own learning. So you have to initiate that step. All right, so let's go. Do that. All right, send me your questions. Good luck. I really look forward to seeing how all this shakes out for you. Okay, take care, and I hope you're having a great day.